Hey.
Great! Penny Punching Princess is an RTS, RPG, action, exploring Zelda type game. Yes, it follows the story of the princess, and Sebastian, her Magma Stag friend buddy, who even though inexperienced on level 1, can use their magic calculator to bribe people and take down the evil Dragalone regime. First of all, let's talk about the presentation. The game is presented in a pixel art, which is beautifully crafted and quite animated at times. Though the story is set out in still frames, it does show you enough emotion and animation to keep you entertained throughout. The main characters are voiced in an Animal Crossing style, where they just jabble up nonsense. However, the narrator is spoken properly and done quite well.
On the surface, they are just a lending company, but that is simply a facade.
Beautiful. In Penny Punching Princess, you play as, well, the princess, and your goal is to save the world or some shit. About halfway through, you run into a relative of the princess, Isabella, and then you can play as her, and she pretty much plays the exact same. It's a hoot, it's a riot, it's a fun game. The main goal in Penny Punching Princess is to, well, collect coins, and you can do this in one of two ways. Just with standard controls, or with the touchscreen, which is definitely what I'm not going to use in this playthrough. After hitting an enemy for a certain amount of time, they'll go into a break mode, and when they do go into the break mode, you can use your control stick to spin it around, or rapidly touch them on the touchscreen, and in doing so, they'll spill out more coins. At first I found this really hard to do, but I did get used to it as the playthrough went on, and it just came as second nature. I just fear I'm wearing down my control stick like I would in Mario Party. On top of that, you do have a special ability which you can use a certain amount of times in a stage depending on the ability. You can change out the armor and subsequently the ability you can use through the workshop in the main menu in between stages, assuming you picked up the correct Zenigami statue, which are hidden throughout the levels inside the main game. During the first half of the game I stuck to a healing ability, and after that I completely forgot about it and just kind of steamrolled through because I was getting used to the controls. The last and final ability that you can use inside this game is the ability to manipulate people using your special calculator. And oh shit, did this really cause me troubles. Granted, yes, the premise of it is quite a neat idea. You hold down a button and then on the touchscreen type in the amount that you want to bribe the person so you can get them on the side. You might have two enemies in a room, one that costs 100 gold and one that costs 200 gold. You type in 100 gold for the 100 one and 200 gold for the 200 one, and then click on that enemy to tame them. But if you're using the controls, like I was, it's a little bit harder than that. You'll need to hold down the left trigger and then input what you want on the shitty D-pad on the Joy-Con or a controller of your choice, and then hold down the right trigger as long as you're still holding down the left trigger, and then press A. You can also shortcut this by holding down the left trigger and then holding down the right trigger at the same time, which will highlight whatever's in front of you, then scroll through the D-pad finding what enemy you want, then click A to bribe. The easiest way I found to do this is to just get as close as I could to the enemy, and do it that way so it was always the first one that I chose. But it's not always that easy. If you're in a tight situation and you're trying to bribe an enemy, and you do it really quickly, sometimes you'll just enter 5, which is the default number on the calculator, and you can't do anything from there. You need to hold down the left button, and then run away mid-fight, while still trying to use the control stick, the L button, and the D-pad on the same hand to go to the clear, and then click A, and then try again. Otherwise you'll just keep on inputting 5s, and it was so frustrating, and it got me killed a number of times. However, after bribing the monster, you can use them to do your bidding by pressing the X button for normally a range of attacks. The bigger the enemy, the more it costs and the more damage they do. Not only was the calculator a problem, but some of the Zenigami chests were really hidden, and they got me quite frustrated, since I'd search a whole area, not find anything, only for them to be hidden in a very specific spot, hidden in the overworld, and it drove me mad. But enough about my frustration, let's start talking about the bribe system. Not only can you bribe monsters for their attacks, you can also bribe stage hazards to stop them from hurting you, and then you can use their abilities to hurt the other enemies around you. Or if you're in a tight pinch, you can find a healing magic circle, and you can bribe them to heal you up. However, once you've bribed someone, you can't bribe them again, so use it wisely. The only other thing that you want to bribe in this game is the sealed gates, which you can use to get extra bonuses, normally Zenigami chests, maybe access to a healing magic circle, or a shitload of cash. Even though the level designs did repeat themselves, I did have quite a lot of fun with Penny Punching Princess. The change of pace really picks up about halfway through the game when you unlock Isabella. She plays exactly the same as the princess, though her bribing technique is a lot better. With her, you simply go up to an enemy, hold down the L trigger, and then click A. It's pretty much what you do with the princess, without the accidental calculator or needing to press the R button. Oh, there's also the coin miracle section, but I totally forgot about it during the whole playthrough of the game. Don't have footage of it, and never used it. At the end of each stage, you're graded from D to S on how well you completed your mission. From what I can tell, it's just how fast you completed each objective, and maybe how much damage you took and skill you used during each wave. As you can see, I got a little bit addicted to trying to S-rank as many things as I can. Yep. I found the game addicting enough to get through the whole main story, which was about 25 hours, and then play through it again to try and get as many S ranks as I can. The only hurdle that I've yet to conquer is the final stage. What were they thinking? This stage is a gauntlet. You can't explore, you need to just keep on fighting. I've timed out on this stage so many times. The timer lasts 1 hour. It is a long stage. Right now, I just can't do it. I'm not going to push myself through that, but I do know that I will pick it up later and try again when I have a clear mind. The story was entertaining, it had a lot of plot twists, and quite a few endings. It seemed to end a lot and then pick straight back up, and I didn't expect it, and it was good. It's definitely a game that I will go back to from time to time, and surely an overlooked game on the Switch. Currently, the only way to get the game physically is on the Switch through N.I.S. America. It's lighthearted, it's fun, and it's definitely something that you should have in your collection. So get it!
Hey.